Anurag Batra in absentia, Ashima, Mr. Dhanendra Kumar, my distinguished colleagues from the bar, and last but not the least, the General Counsel, the in-house counsel, for whom this event is taking place. I bring to you greetings from the Society of Indian Law Firms, which is a body which has about 150 top law firms of the country as its members. We recently had our own building inaugurated by the Honorable the Vice President of India on 29th of April, and this building is going to house, you see, a unique center of excellence on dispute solutions. It will be something more than ADR and all that, where you see the effort and endeavor will be to resolve amicably, sitting across the disputes which arise amongst the corporate bodies. Samjhauta, that is the motto. Settlements, try to resolve your disputes. I also bring to you greetings from the Bar Association of India, of which I happen to be the immediate past president. Also the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, having headquarters in London, and I chair the India branch of that. And also from the CII, National Committee on Legal Services, which I happen to chair. Today, my message to you, I've been addressing the General Counsel. Very, very eminent faces are here. We meet quite frequently and we discuss the problems and issues which the General Counsel, in-house counsel face due to lack of recognition of their important and significant role which they play by our regulatory body, that is the Bar Council of India. Why this stepmotherly treatment to the General Counsel? Are they less knowledgeable, less committed than some of us who are called external lawyers? Yes, we are external lawyers. What does it imply? That you are something more than that. General Counsel play a very important, significant, pivotal role, not only for their corporates, but eventually, you see, for the country as a whole, for the country's economy. Can there be a bilateral agreement? Can there be mergers and acquisitions? Can there be joint ventures without legal support? Obviously not. Therefore, the legal profession as a whole plays a very important and significant role in the development of the corporate sector, which in turn means development of the economy of the country. And that role is entirely, firstly and foremost, dependent upon the role of the General Counsel. Everything starts from there. Then, if required, then you go to external counsel. If not required, you handle things yourselves. So why this recognition is not forthcoming from the Bar Council of India? I am quite critical about you people, the General Counsel, because you seem to be divided. I see so many associations, groups and all that within the General Counsel. If you were to be united, I am sure that your voice will be heard, you see, not only by the other professional bodies like the ones which I represent, but also the Bar Council, and more importantly by the government also, by the Ministry of Law and Justice. Therefore, just apply your mind to this. of coming together. And remember, a right is never given, it is taken. I firmly believe you have a right to be recognized. And today, in return for the largesse which you have given me by repeatedly sharing with me, you see, your views, I am giving you a return gift. This return gift you will find on your table, which is one representation which we have drafted on behalf of the CII National Committee on Legal Services. Mr. Amar Sundaram has played a very important role, you see, in preparing this with some support from my side. I don't think you would have seen a document like this. Just have a look at this, that it starts with that, who is the General Counsel? Then it says the key responsibilities of a General Counsel. And look at the key responsibilities, that is the legal advice, risk management, contract negotiations, compliance, corporate governance, litigation management, intellectual property, government relations. Then this goes on to say, how has the role of General Counsel changed and evolved over the last few decades? When I started my practice about 62 years ago, and I was advisor to some of the corporate bodies, they just used to have a manager legal, law manager, something similar names. And the only role, you see, which was performed by those, that okay, if some notices have come from regulatory authorities, then you take it to the external counsel, get the replies prepared. So he was like a intermediary between the corporate body and the legal professional. Now, particularly after 1990s, with the liberalization, the role of General Counsel has changed. It has changed because it was a requirement by the corporate bodies to have a full-fledged legal department which should not act as an intermediary between the corporate body and the external lawyers, but it should provide actual guidance, you see, to the corporate, to the board of directors, to the leadership of the corporate body. And we have highlighted the increased strategic influence, emphasis on compliance, technology and legal tech adoption, globalization of business, corporate social responsibility, enhanced risk management, crisis management. These are some of the roles which we could define what the General Counsel perform. And then we have given a table of the past profile and role of a GC and the present profile and role of a GC. This is very informative. I would request you please to go through this very. Then reporting of General Counsel to the key decision makers of the company. These days, the key decision makers, board of directors or the CEO or the chairman, managing director, they first look towards, you see, the General Counsel to give the green clearance for any issues which may arise if they are setting up a new project, also in the running of the business, what are the issues, what can be the risk factors, how to ensure compliance. That is where the role of the General Counsel comes in for the benefit of the corporate and the business leadership of the corporate body. Therefore, the role is much more than, you see, of even a director on the board. There are directors who are executive directors, then there are independent directors. But the role of General Counsel is to is to provide the safeguarding interest, you see, of the entire board and eventually of the company. Then, what is the gap and the need of the hour? That also we have highlighted. If you kindly see this, what is required to be done, either the amendment of the Advocates Act or the Bar Council regulation or even some of the provisions of the Companies Act. And is there a need for such statutory recognition? You see, in India, we have said yes, there is a need for statutory recognition because of the evolving role of the General Counsel, the global trends, clarity and accountability, legal professional privileges, and industry-specific considerations. Then the role in eradicating corruption per se. Then attorney-client privilege communication. Are General Counsel and the corporates that they work for protected by the attorney-client privilege communications in India? And then we go on. We have set out a table. Then we say informal recognition has already been given. That we say top General Counsels of India awarded by Forbes India Legal Power List and by top General Counsel in India, Business World, Legal Era, all other organizations have given informal recognition, but important recognition to the role of the General Counsel in India. So, summary you will find also that role has enhanced in last 10 years and is a critical member of any corporate senior leadership team, plays a significant role in promoting corporate governance and mitigating legal risk by ensuring compliance with laws and regulations. Various countries have already recognized, and this is important, and the role of General Counsel. Informally, through various platforms in India, legal luminaries have participated and recognized their contributions. A General Counsel is a well-qualified legal professional whose job within the corporate sector is to provide legal advice to the management. Thus, they fall within the concept of legal advisors. They have a big role to play in the development and growth of digital India, growth story of Indian economy, bringing down the corruption perception index going forward. And what reforms is required? That is, lastly, we spell out statutory recognition to the GCs by granting them statutory recognition by issuing a clarification that a General Counsel employed in a corporate sector are legal advisors. Then, reporting of a General Counsel should be directly to the Managing Director or CEO of the company, as has been done, for example, in the case of a Data Protection Officer under the Digital Personal Data Protection Act, and which states that the significant data fiduciary shall be an individual responsible to the board of directors or similar governing body of the significant data fiduciary. Then extend the attorney-client privilege to General Counsel, as they are well-qualified legal professionals involved in the practice of law and giving of legal advice to their employers. Clarifications to be issued by the Ministry of Law and Justice as well as the Bar Council of India. Then GCs should be involved by the government in consultation papers on major policy decisions, that is drafting of important legislations and its impact. They should be allowed to represent their employers by way of appearance in the courts, tribunals, mediation, and argue the matters on behalf of the companies. GCs should be allowed to be in the list of eminent mediators, arbitrators under the Arbitration and Conciliation Act. This afternoon we are having a meeting, high-profile meeting of the Arbitration Bar of India, which I'll be attending, and I'll be raising these issues also in that meeting, which will be chaired by Justice Rajendra Gupta and also by the Attorney General and the Solicitor General. So my request to you is, at the end of the day today, when we finish this, you please adopt this as your official resolution as a collective body of General Council. And if you have any comments, please send those directly to me. Ashima will share my details so that we could incorporate that, as within 1 week we propose to submit this, you see, to the Bar Council of India, to the Ministry of Law and Justice. That is the way forward for the General Council. So please grab this opportunity. This document is well prepared, and it is not for external counsel. It is basically for the General Council to take benefit of that. Thank you very much.